Hello, gorgeous souls. How are you today? It's a scorcher. Loving it. It's not as hot as yesterday, but it is still a gorgeous, gorgeous week. So I hope you've had a wonderful bank holiday weekend. Welcome to podcast episode 18. And today's episode is what it takes to be truly successful. And the reason that I wanted to have this conversation today on the podcast is following a conversation that I had with a client on a one-to-one call in the last 7 days. And when I was out walking the dogs this morning, he was just flowing in, and I thought, this is exactly what I have to speak about on today's podcast. So if and when you are joining me here on Facebook, please do say hello, drop me your favourite emoji in the comments. If and when you're catching the replay, then hashtag replay. And if you are a first-time listener, let me know whereabouts in the world you are tuning in from. If you are listening on the podcast, then welcome. Make sure you are subscribed to the podcast so that you get notified every week when a new episode drops. And also, if you're watching the replay over on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. So, what it takes to be truly successful. Now, the client I was talking to in this last week, she runs a business, and she's run a business for the last 20 years. It may be a little bit more that she's been in this business. And we were talking about, where she started to where she is now. And she's just in the process of rebranding her business. So she has a team, so she has staff that works for her. She's well established. She's got a successful business. It's a multi-six-figure year turnover in a business. It runs a profit. It's a successful business. And she said to me in this rebrand process, she said, I don't actually know, because we were talking about sort of goals and things. And she said, I don't know what it's going to take, as in money-wise, for me to feel successful. And this topic of like the whole term success has fascinated me since I started coaching, which is over 10 years ago. I started coaching and mentoring women, because the question always begs that I ask people is, what is your definition of success? And a lot of the time, people can't actually answer what that is, because they can't physically say, this is what success is. Success is a feeling. And it's this that we talked about in the conversation that I had with my client. It wasn't the question of let's chase success or let's make success a target. The way that I coach and the way that I work with women, especially in business, is I love to work with human design. Now, I know if you've plugged into a few other of my podcast episodes, you'll have heard me talk about human design from a parenting perspective. And it's something that I learned back in 2020. And when I started to adopt and embody the personality side, the energetic side, I started to deepen my understanding and learning of human design. It changed the way that I showed up and the way I led myself and my life. And it also changed the way that I saw success. And also in other areas of my life, like in relationships, in business, as a parent, it has been just so transformational. And it's why I'm really passionate about it. And it's why I bring it in as one of the elements of teaching and learning in my coaching containers, whether that's one-to-one, in self-led my coaching membership, or in my mastermind immersion. I ask all my clients, like, what is your human design? Because it tells me so much about your personality, what your driving factor is, like what your signature theme is, how you work. And it makes so much sense in terms of when we're creating a strategy moving forward. What are the things that are going to be the most effective for you to like really focus on, to work with both your personality and your energy? So with this client in particular, she is a generator and I'm a manifesting generator. So our signature theme is satisfaction. So if you don't know your human design, I urge you to go out there and find out what your human design type is. You can find it, just Google it, you'll be able to find out what it is. ChatGPT can help, or Claude, or whoever, AI, whatever. And you can find out what your human design is. You will have a signature theme as part of your human design. And if you know your human design, whatever your type is, so whether you're a manifesting generator, a manifestor, a projector, or a reflector, you will have a specific signature theme. So I know for projectors, that is success. And that is obviously what success feels like to them. And as a manifestor, that is peace. For reflectors, I'm not 100% sure. I've not worked with any reflectors yet. However, for me as a manager and for generators, our signature theme is satisfaction. And I said to my generator client when we were looking at sort of business goals and what she wants to work on both personally and professionally, is I said, the thing is, because she said, I don't know how much money it's going to take for me to earn in my business or create before I feel successful, you know, because from where I started to where I am now to what the business is doing, she's like, I could never have even imagined, but now I'm here, it still doesn't feel like I'm there. And this is the thing when we're doing things outside of ourselves and we're always trying to chase something or achieve something that's external to us, we never feel like we're truly there. And if we look at money as a goalpost, I said to my client, you know, I could like give you £100,000 tomorrow, like as a client. I could give you £100,000 tomorrow as a client. And I said, the thing is, you would be excited and it'd be like, oh my God, it'd like be amazing. It'd be exciting. It'd be all these things. I said, but after that excitement and that peak had dropped, it actually wouldn't feel any different outside of that. So there'd be an initial burst of excitement and then that would go. And then you'd be like, well, how much money is it actually going to take for me to feel a certain way? And the thing is, it's not about the money. When we look at human design and we bring human design into our world and we blend it into life and to business, I said to my client, we have to work with your signature theme, which is satisfaction. I said, because if you make that your focus and you look at the actions in both your life and business that result in you experiencing satisfaction, I said, that is the goal. That means that you are living in alignment. And when it comes to then expansion, when it comes to growth, whether that's personally or professionally, because she's currently doing both, we're looking at expanding her identity, both personally and professionally, as the CEO that she is. This is about looking at, you know, what areas of your life and what like sort of areas in the business and also what actions in your life and business lead to you experiencing satisfaction. And when we reframe it and we look at it that way, we start to then realize and notice what actions lead to us experiencing that signature theme. And this is where we then start to live and lead and be in alignment. And when we're in alignment, when we're in that satisfaction, this is when then things start to flow. Things start to feel easier. They start to feel better. We start to become a magnet for more in our life because we're leading from a place of overflow rather than leading from a place of lack. So if we're looking for success as something that is external to us, that is say out here, and we're thinking, I'll be successful when I've hit a certain amount of money, when I've got a certain amount of clients, when I've bought the business premises, when I've got a certain amount of staff, like all of this kind of stuff. If we're always basing our success on that, then when it's actually achieved, there's always something. When you have the mindset, especially an entrepreneurial mindset, and you love the challenge, you love a little bit of pressure, you love to be working towards something, the goalposts always shifts. So rather than marking something external to you, like way over there, as that I will feel successful when, and it's something that you will eventually get to, it's good to have milestones to work towards, to have a focus, but it's not about pinning who we are, like our success, and that this will result in us feeling the way that we want to feel, because ultimately feelings are created and generated in the body. The mind is one thing, the body is another. And the thing about personal power is understanding and realizing that we have the power to create and generate the emotions that we want to feel through aligned action. And this is why when you know what your human design type is and you know your strategy, you know your authority, you can work in that energy with your personality type. You will understand why you are, consistent in certain things, inconsistent in others, why, certain environments fuel you, certain environments deplete you. You will find out and discover what gives you energy and what gives you life force energy and also what drains you. And then you can align your actions to make sure that you're listening to this rather than trying to constantly figure things out in here and feeling stuck. So the answer that I would give when it comes to, what what truly is success, like what truly makes us successful, is it's living in alignment as much as possible with our signature theme. And this is something, like I said, that I help my clients to really deepen their understanding of, like human design, and also of like, you know, the components of their strategy, their authority, and their like their profile lines and things, and just to really find out, are they living in alignment? And a lot of the time, they're not. My client was absolutely fascinated with all this information. We went into her profile lines, we went into her human design type, her strategy, and she was like, she went away from the call and I gave her a few things to consider and to do. And she came back and she just said, I cannot believe how much I've read my chart and it's literally me, because, you know, we went through some of the notes and she looked at it and she's like, I can see now why certain things have worked really well in my personal life, in my business life, like where I can, like, I get drained, where my energy is depleted. I can see where things are in alignment, where they're not. She's been working over the weekend on just noticing what brings her satisfaction. And the beautiful thing about your signature theme is it's often the simple things, the simplest things that will result in you experiencing your signature theme. So for example, satisfaction. For me, completing something and the satisfaction that the completion of the task brings to me as a manager makes me want to stay the course to complete the task. So I used to be someone who considered myself as very inconsistent. And the thing is as a manager, we are meant to be inconsistent in certain things. So there will be certain things, because we have the manifestor energy and then the generator energy, we initiate certain things and we can move very quickly with them. And then we can go, actually, this isn't a vibe anymore. And our sacral, you know, I've got a sacral authority, will go, this is not it, this is it. We pivot, we change. And I used to make that mean something about who I was, as in I couldn't stick at things, that I wasn't good at certain things, that I wasn't consistent, that no matter what I did, I just could not like follow through with certain things. And that's not actually true. When it comes to me being consistent, I'm the most consistent person now I've ever been. And it's down to my human design, because the things that I'm consistent in are the aligned actions that I know lead to satisfaction. So I know as a manager, even though my energy can be very bouncy, it can be very big, I know that now that I understand that energy, I know where to channel that energy into. And when something feels aligned, even when it's hard, even when sometimes I'm like, I know that me following through with certain actions, that on the other side of those actions is the satisfaction. And when we really understand that, and we, like for me, when I'm able to like just finish something or complete something that I started, and I know how to lead myself to that end result now, and the satisfaction that is just felt and experienced, it's just like, that's what it's all about. So let me know, if you know what your human design is, reach out to me and let me know what your human design is. I'd love to know what your type is, your authority, your profile lines. I'm slightly obsessed with human design. It's why it's part of my coaching. If you want to learn more about the different offers that I've got on at the moment, you can go to the link in my bio on Facebook and on Instagram. Click on there and you will find details about self-led. You will find details about my mastermind immersion, and you will also find details on my private mentorship. I also invite you to fill in the form. It's like a quick 10 questionnaire form, and it's what is actually holding you back in your business right now. It's the very first thing on the link in my bio. So what is holding you back in your business? It takes a couple of minutes to fill in the form, and I will personally respond to all of the things that you put down in the form. It's completely free to fill in. It takes, like I say, a couple of minutes, and you can find it. I'll link it in the description in YouTube and also on my podcast, and I'll do it on this episode underneath. But if you go to the link in my bio, you can find the link for that, fill that in, and let's see whereabouts you are holding yourself back. And then also reach out to me or comment below this video and just let me know what your human design type is. So what your strategy is, your authority, your profile lines. I would love to know, because when you really lean into this work and you deepen your understanding of like human design and you bring that into your world, both personally and professionally, I can guarantee you it will change your life. So I hope you have enjoyed today's episode, and I will see you next week for podcast episode 19. Have a great day. Bye.